Today I am with a new topic for you class 9 students, that is tissue. Now as you read about cells in the previous chapter, here in this chapter you are going to study about tissues. Now what do you mean by tissues? Tissues are group of cells. Now you already understood in the previous chapter or in the previous video that cells are the fundamental unit of life, or they are the building block of living organisms, isn't it? Or we can say it is the structural and functional unit of life, right? Now what is this tissue? Tissue means a collection of cells, similar type of cells having the similar origin and may perform a specific function. Clear? Now you see, in case of organisms, when we talk about organisms, so we often tell that yes, this organism is unicellular, this is multicellular. Now what does these words imply? Unicellular, uni means one, cellular, made up of one cell. Organisms only having one cell in their body, or the organism constitute of one cell, are called unicellular. While the organisms made up of many cells or more than one cells, they are called multicellular. So on the basis of number of cells present in the body of an organism, we can divide it into two types: unicellular, multicellular. Now can you recall some unicellular organisms here? Well, I think you have recalled it. First is amoeba, which is very well known to you. Second, it may be paramecium, it may be a chlamydomonas, it may be a bacteria even. Bacteria is a prokaryotic unicellular organism, right? While amoeba is a eukaryotic unicellular organism. Okay, so you already know about prokaryote, eukaryote. Let me recapitulate some of the basic features of prokaryote and eukaryote. So what you have studied in class 8, prokaryote means pro means early, karyon means nucleus, early or primitive type of nucleus. That type of organisms are called prokaryote. So in the prokaryote organisms, they do not have any well-defined cell organelles, isn't it? Or they do not have membrane-bound cell organelles, or do not have any well-defined nucleus in their cytoplasm. While the eukaryote have a well-defined organelles in their cell. So this is about the already read topic in your class 8 syllabus. Now let me tell you about unicellular, multicellular. So when I was explaining some of the examples of unicellular, like I told you about amoeba and paramecium, that you very well know. Now multicellular, we the human beings, we are multicellular, right? We have millions and trillions of cells in our body. When a baby grows, he may have millions of cells in his body. When he grows to adolescence age, he may gain more and more number of cells. So he becomes much mature, number of cells increase in his body, and later when he reaches the adulthood, he has trillions of cells. Like this, an organism made up of many cells are multicellular. So all the organisms that you can view by your naked eyes, they are all generally multicellular. Clear? But can you say an egg that we can view with our naked eye is an unicellular or multicellular? Think and tell me. Yes, it is an unicellular. And hence egg is a unicellular cell. It is not multicellular, it is a fertilized zygote. Okay. So egg is fertilized zygote, it is a unicellular object. Now see, on the basis of nutrition, we know on the basis of nutrition, we divide the organisms into plants and animals, autotrophs and heterotrophs. So here we are going to study about plant tissues, animal tissues. Clear? Plant tissues, plant are stationary because they are autotrophs, they do not need to search food. So they are stationaries. And animals, they are heterotrophs because they have to find their food, find their shelter, and find a mate for reproduction. So I am going to describe about plant tissues. Now you see, plant tissues, they are generally classified into two types. There are meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. Clear? Now what are meristematic tissues? Meristematic tissues means those tissues that can undergo repeated cell division. These are present in the dividing part of the plant body. Okay, now what are the features of this type of meristematic tissues? These cells of these tissues are similar in structure and have very thin cell wall. Clear? So generally the meristematic tissues are divided into three types: apical, lateral and intercalary. So what is apical? Apical means apex. Apex means the tip of the root or shoot. So this type of tissue is found in the root tip and shoot tip. Okay, so you can remember two words: RAM, that is root apical meristem, SAM, shoot apical meristem. So apical meristematic tissues, they generally cause increase in the height of the plant. So this is called primary growth. When a plant is growing in height, it is called primary growth. Next come lateral meristematic tissues. Lateral, that means it helps in the lateral growth of the plant. Clear? Now that means what? The diameter of the plant will increase. The diameter of the plant will increase. That is, the girth of the plant will increase. So these mainly help in secondary growth. Third is the intercalary meristem. Intercalary means this is present in the region of permanent tissue, means between the region of permanent tissue. Generally it is found in the base of the node and internode. You know what is a node? The region of the plant from where the leaf arises, that is the node, and the region in between the two nodes is called internode. So in this region of node and internode, intercalary meristem are found. Clear? Now generally, what are the general functions of meristematic tissues? The general functions are, they generally help in the growth of the apical part of the plant, lateral part of the plant, or the intercalary, that is the in between parts of the permanent tissues. So meristematic tissues generally help to heal the cell injury. Sometimes if there is a injury in the plant cell, the new tissues take this place of the old one. So healing process is done by meristematic tissue. Okay. Next come the permanent tissues. Permanent tissues in plant. Now permanent tissues in plant are again divided into two types: simple permanent tissue, complex permanent tissue. Why simple? Simple means they are made up of a single type of cells. So they are again divided into three types: parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. Okay, parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. These are the three types of simple permanent tissues. Okay, and complex permanent tissues are thereafter divided into two types: xylem and phloem. Xylem and phloem are collectively called vascular tissues or vascular bundle. They are conducting tissues in plant that conduct water and minerals as well as food. Xylem conduct water and mineral from root to the various shoot system of the plant like the leaves, and phloem conduct the food prepared by the leaves to the other storage parts of the plant. Okay. Now simple permanent tissues, as I told you, divide into parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. Again, parenchyma is subdivided into two types: chlorenchyma, having chlorophyll, chlorenchyma, and arenchyma. Arenchyma means having air gaps or air cavities. They help in buoyancy of the aquatic plants. And again, sclerenchyma is divided into two types: fibers and sclerites, that we are going to discuss later. So these subdivisions of these parenchyma and sclerenchyma will be discussed later. Now see, as I told you that the meristematic tissues, the cells of the meristematic tissues are simple. You see, they are made of simple type of single layer of cell. Now this is the type of meristematic cells. You can see here the nucleus, the cell membrane, the cell wall, the cytoplasm. So this is how the meristematic tissue look like. Okay. Next come, you see the location of the various type of meristematic tissues in plant. Now as I told you, the meristematic tissues are divided into apical, lateral and intercalary. Now apical, you see This is a shoot apical meristem. Shoot of the plant. It is present in the shoot. Okay. The shoot region of the plant, the apical are found. Apical meristem are found. This is the intercalary meristem. It may be present in the node or internode. This is the lateral meristem, present in the lateral surface of the plant, which helps in increasing the girth or the width of the plant. Next, you see, I will just tell you about some of the differences between meristematic and permanent tissues. Now, can you help me in writing the points? Well, let us start. Now, the nature of the cell. In meristematic tissues, cells are small. Clear? Here the cells will be large. Okay, so cells are small, and how do they look? They look polygonal. Here the cells may be of various shapes. So this is the first difference you remember. It's a very simple difference. Next comes cell wall. The cell wall is thin. Cell wall. Thin and elastic. Here the cell wall will be thick or thin. Thin or thick. What? Cell wall. Right? Third point. Nucleus. Meristematic tissue, you see I have drawn a large and prominent nucleus. So the nucleus here will be large. Large and prominent nucleus. Large nucleus. If you write down, you can write the prominent also. Here how will be the nucleus? It is not that prominent. It is less conspicuous. Conspicuous means it is not that prominent. Less conspicuous. Clear? Fourth point. I will give you 5 points. Clear? Fourth point. What type of tissues are made from meristematic? They are simple tissues. They are called simple tissues. And here the permanent tissues, they are complex, or you can say specialized. Complex or specialized. Okay, the last point you may write, the very important, that is the nature of the cell. They are living. Meristematic tissues are living tissues, okay, and they are, here they may be living or may be dead. There it may be living or dead. So these are the various type of differences between meristematic and permanent tissues. Clear? Okay. Now let me recapitulate the whole topic. So what we read, that tissues are formed from the cells. Aggregation of cells from tissues. Thereafter tissues form organ and organ system, and thereafter the full organism. The tissues are of two types, plant tissue and animal tissue. Plant tissues, that generally I taught you introductory part, the types of tissues in plant, meristematic and permanent. So remember the differences, the location of the meristematic tissues, okay, and the nature of the meristematic tissues. So this was today's topic. So read it. Next day I will be talking about animal tissue.